Mel Albin. I'm the host and the founder of the Jazz Confusion
My
Power
name
Hour.
is Dion Parson, and I'm honored to share my passion of music with you, our listening audience, through my cultural heritage.
Things can change for you too. If you want to be brand new, that is absolutely possible.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Confusion Power Hour. I'm your host, Mel Albin. I'm the founder of this show, and I created the show because I wanted to give people who love the music of jazz crossover, R&B, soul, um, uh, give them a chance to get to know the artist in a different way. Not just the music they create, but how they create that music, and more about who they are as people. So you get to know really the mind behind all the music, and you get to know the person in more detail. So you get to know not only their stories, but you get to see you're going backstage to see how they produce the songs that we all love. The Power Hour broadcasts weekly on the Source TV radio network, WTSN, Washington, D.C. We broadcast live in streaming 4K, and we're the only station I know of that broadcasts in Dolby True HD. So if you have a good sound system, you'll be able to hear the music in a really quality way. Source is a nonprofit 501c3 radio station. We support jazz and we support Black minority micro businesses to build scale so they can get on the finance industry radar and ultimately create an increased generational transition of wealth, assisting both families and communities with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We depend on listener contributions and artists who appear on our shows for mutual support and also sponsors to cover our costs of broadcasting. So any donation that you make to Source keeps jazz alive and well. Your donations are greatly appreciated, and remember, they're always tax deductible. The Power Hour has had over 150 amazing guest artists, well known and becoming well known, both musicians and vocalists. Some of the artists in the Power Hour have been Eric Roberson, Mesa, Brian Culbertson, Paul Brown, Raheem Devon, Reagan Whiteside, Alex Harris, Greg Adams, Tom Brown, Costella, Eric Darius, Pieces of a Dream, Kamasi Washington, Keiko Matsui, Kim Scott, Sheryl Crow, Billy Ocean, Annie Lennox, Dwelle, Maria Antoinette, Blake Aaron, um, Edwin Nicholas, Terry Wollman, who's going to be on tonight with us tonight, her, Celine Johnson, Erin Stevenson, Samara Joy, the late Bobby Caldwell, Jeff Beck, Eric Burden. That gives you some flavor for the kind of artists that we've had on the show. So you should tune in every week to really hear great music and get to know some of these artists that I know you've been listening to for quite some time. Tonight we're having a very special show. We're having a release party for Aysha'S new single, So Real. For those of you who may not be familiar with Aysha'S musical background, I want to tell you a little bit. I know you're familiar with her music, but in 2014, she signed with Innervision Records. And in 2015, she released her third CD, Take Me Higher. It became her first radio single released through Innervision Records. The single reached #3 on the Groove Jazz charts, 26 on Billboard, and 6 in the top 100 songs of 2015 for Groove Jazz. Her single Take Me Higher and the CD were Grammy Considered the Best R&B Performance and Best R&B Album. In 2016, she's presented with an award for Outstanding Jazz Performer of the Year. And she also would won awards from the Producers of Choice Honors Red Carpet event in Hollywood. She shared the stage with some of the industry's top musicians, such as Najee, Blake Aaron, Marion Meadows, Paul Brown, Darren Rahn, Everett Harp, just name a few. And she's open for Greg Adams, Tower of Power, and East Bay Soul, and also Gerald Albright, Norman Brown in San Diego. The smooth soul jazz songwriter, crossing genres from R&B, pop, smooth jazz, and adult contemporary, her velvety voice is sultry, smooth, with a jazzy edge, which is something I really love. It kind of breaks out of the smooth jazz mold. Early in her career, she was in an all-girls group called Girls in the Mix, and she started out very early on performing live. She independently released her first debut CD, Love Is a Rock, and then she followed that up in 2010 with Stay With Me, and nominated in 2009, 2010, as I mentioned before, for Jazz Artist of the Year and winner of the Jazz Album of the Year for the 2010 Los Angeles Music Awards with her EP, Stay With Me. So she's had a terrific career. She signed in 2014 with Innervision Records, and the single that she released reached #3 in the Groove Jazz charts and 26 on Billboard and #6 in the top 100 songs for 2015. So, with all that said, now she is just releasing her newest single, and So Real is just a wonderful song. So I want you all to meet our artist that we're celebrating tonight. I want to bring on Aysha. Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I am excellent, thank you.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here again. You've been on this show, I think, last November. You were on.
Yes.
So, time passes, time really flies. But now you have your new single out, and So Real, and we want to celebrate tonight. And I know you got a lot of friends with you. I know that, one of the people who wanted to be at the party throughout the evening is Terry Wollman. And Terry won't be able to stay all night. So, why don't you just say a few things about Terry, and then I'll bring him on.
Okay. So Terry Wollman, boy, what do I say? He is a very, very good friend of mine, an amazing guitarist and composer. He's been in this business, I think he had a 25-year anniversary when I first met him. So he's been in the business a long, long time. And I just have always wanted to include him whenever I did a performance. He was always one of my special guests. Just like tonight, he's going to be one of my special guests. And I just keep the tradition going. So.
Wonderful. Well, then let's just bring on Tony. Terry. Terry's been on my show, as I said, and let's talk with Terry.
Hi, Aysha. I know you have another guest on your show for your special event for the release of your new single. He's somebody who's been on my show, who I really like. He's a wonderful artist too, Terry Wollman. So why don't you introduce Terry to everybody and tell everybody a little bit about Terry?
Okay, well, I'm very excited to have Terry on the show because he's a very good friend and an amazing musician. And I can't think of really any show over the past 10 years or 15 years that I haven't had him on as a special guest on my show. So he's an amazing guitarist, and I'm just excited to have him. Come on.
Okay, well, let me bring Terry on and let's chat with Terry for a few minutes. Terry, how are you?
I'm great, Mel. It's great to see you. Hi,
Hey,
Aysha.
Terry.
Congratulations, Aysha, on the new single.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for coming on the show with us and helping me celebrate.
Happy to be here.
That's
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, Terry, I got a few questions I want to ask you. One of the questions is, how did you two ever meet and when was it?
Aysha could probably tell me when it was. I mean, it was a long time ago. I believe it was, we were introduced through Jack Cohen and Michael Adam Cohen, and they both had an intuition that we should know each other and that we would like each other and want to collaborate, and they were spot on accurate. We got together in Marina Del Rey, I think, and sat outside, by the water and had a cup of iced tea and spent a couple of hours together. Longer than either of us had probably planned. And it was, friends at first meeting, friends at first sight. And we've just continued to find ways to support each other and also to perform together, which is always a blast. It's an easy yes to do that. Aysha always surrounds herself with great musicians, good people, so it's fun. Everybody's heart is in the right place. The groove is deep and the audiences love Aysha, and it's really, really fun. Plus Aysha was also already a radio host and an inspiration to me as I was becoming a podcast host, probably 8 or 9 years ago is when I started. So so you influenced me that way as well, Aysha, in a good way. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I'm curious, Terry, since obviously you've known Aysha for some time now. What are the things that stand out in your mind as Aysha has been evolving as an artist?
Well, when I first met Aysha, she was already established as a nationally recognized artist on the radio and as a radio host as well, but performing around the country, in addition to many other talents that she has that I don't even know if you know about, Mel, but she's definitely a multi-talented, fully formed woman. And the thing that stands out to me most in her music is that everything that she does has heart. Her heart is in it. And, and that's the thing that draws me, Aysha, towards your music and towards your performance.
Oh, thank you.
One of the things I observed having Aysha on my show, and I've been a fan for many years. I've listened to her music. She has her smooth jazz has a real soulful edge that really doesn't fit the smooth jazz mold as much as it fits soul. But you can see the elements of both, and it's always clear in her music, which makes her music stand out to me, and it's so much more interesting. But that's really, I think, one of her gifts. That she has a real soul, and I think that's what you're alluding to. You say heart.
Yeah, I agree. And that, because before we met, before Aysha and I knew each other, I knew her music. I was hearing her on the radio. So I was already drawn to that. Exactly what you're saying, Mel.
Yeah. How would you break down her new song? As an artist, what is it about this new hit? It's going to be a hit. What is it about it that really you find so attractive?
Well, So Real feels good. That's a starter. Like, as soon as I hit play, I was in the story. I was in the song. I always am looking, and I do myself as an artist, to create a world, a sonic world, an emotional world that is captivating in some way. So I think captivating is a good word. The track is captivating. The song is captivating. It has a catchy melody. It has a solid groove. It has a bridge, which I love. The art of writing a great bridge, and both lyrically and melodically, and also, really, I think the bottom line is it reflects who she is as a woman and as an artist. So it's authentic.
What did So Real say to you? I'm just curious. The lyric.
It's it says to me that Aysha is a woman who loves people. She loves the idea of love when she doesn't have it, like most people. She's not afraid. I'm speaking she as if you're not in the room. You speak as if for all of us. You talk about the longing and the desire for connection. And I know you to be a loving person. You're a loving mom. You're a loving artist and friend. And so I think you just tap into that part of that. And again, it gets back to me to being authentically you, not being afraid to say how you feel, what you crave, what you desire. It's got a sense of intimacy and transparency, honesty. It's sexy because of all of the things that you are.
That's wonderful. It's so nice, to know that an artist is transparent, because so much hype surrounds so much music so often. So that kind of authenticity is really a blessing. So
I agree. So, and that's what touches me when I listen to music, any style, any genre, vocal, instrumental, wherever it comes from geographically, culturally, demographically, I still want to be touched by something real. Yeah. And so appropriately, so real is very real.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, I know, Terry, that you have to run, that you have other things going on. I know Aysha wants to thank you for being on before you leave, and I thank you, too. Aysha?
Yes, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Wow, I'm speechless. So I truly appreciate just the way you broke it down and what you thought and what it spoke to you about. I really appreciate that, because when I write a song or when I perform a song, this song I didn't write, but I would not have even recorded the song if it wasn't something that felt like it was me and the feelings that I have. And so it's nice to hear that you feel it's relatable and that you can feel the love and that it's me speaking from the heart. So thank you.
You're so welcome. So I'm happy to know that I received it in the way that you intended it.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Well, we hadn't really spoken about the song, but no, it's my pleasure. It's so great to see you both. Thank you for inviting me to your celebration.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Good. We'll talk again soon. Thank you, Terry.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Mel. Thanks.
Wow. He's terrific, you know?
Yeah, he's such a good guy. I mean, just a great person and musician, just all around good guy.
Yeah. You have so many wonderful people who are coming here to celebrate. You have Kevin Dorsey, and he's produced several of your songs.
Yes.
As far as I remember. And Tony Exum, a great sax player, and Niels, and you have some really good friends here. So why don't we bring them on one at a time, and you can introduce them to everybody and say hello.
All right. So let's start with Kevin Dorsey. Kevin and I go way back. I think back to maybe 1999, and he has been a wonderful friend. He has been involved in pretty much all of my projects from when I didn't even have an album out yet. And he's an incredible vocalist, a vocal producer. He sang with Michael Jackson for, I think, all of Michael Jackson's solo career. And he was assistant musical director and all that for them. So yeah, Kevin Dorsey, and he's the one that produced the vocal on and produced this song, So Real. So I had to have him on.
Let's bring him on.
Yes.
Kevin, hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, and thanks, Mel and Aysha, for having me on here for the debut of So Real.
Yeah, it's quite a song. I was just telling Aysha before we started that Adam, who's helps Aysha get her music heard on radio, he already has her up there, as the latest release coming out of his artist. So I'm sure the song is going to really do really well. So
That's
look,
what I'm hoping.
yeah. Well, look, we're all going to talk about your new song and your music. But who do you want to bring on next?
So let's bring on Niels. So Niels is another fantastic guitarist, artist. I had the pleasure of meeting him. I don't even remember how it all started, but it probably about 10 years ago. And I've had him on my radio show, and he's just been such a nice guy and so talented. And so I thought it'd be awesome to have him on.
Terrific. Let's bring him on. There's the band.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Hey, congratulations on the single, Aysha.
Thank
you. I'm excited
it's about
for
time,
you.
Huh?
Yeah, no, it's good. Hey, good things take time.
Yeah.
Just to compliment you, Niels. You've been on my show before, and
yes.
Pacific Highway, in my mind, changed smooth jazz to groove jazz.
That is my favorite song of Niels.
Had a big impact.
it's the one that kind of changed my career. I was really going more into film writing. And then it was 2005 I released that song. And since that year, it was the most played song on Smooth Jazz Radio, period. And, all of a sudden I'm in this lane over here. So sometimes you just got to roll and go with it, And I've been having fun.
Yeah, success is tough.
Yeah. Well, so a friend of mine told me, be careful what you write. You never know, you might have a hit,
Yeah.
and then you have to play it for the rest of your life. So, but fortunately, I'm lucky for me. I don't mind playing this song. I'm still playing it today in my shows.
Well, I'm glad that you and Kevin have come on the show to help celebrate Aysha's new song, So Real. And you have one more guest you want to bring on, Aysha. Why don't you tell us about your next guest?
Yes, my next guest is Tony Exum Jr. And I call him my little bro, and he calls me his big sis. We have toured together, played, all over the U.S. together. And I had him play on my song Send For Me on the cover that I did. And he's an amazing guy. Again, I only deal with people that are really cool and sweet and have big hearts. And so he's one of them. And he's a talented artist himself. And he also has a radio show. So, but yeah, definitely had to bring him on because he's been my road dog for a while playing with me.
Let's bring Tony on. Here he comes.
What's up, everybody?
Hey. You're rolling, huh?
As always. Never slowing down. Wow, it's a pleasure to be on here. Big shout out to Terry. Terry's like, an extended family member as well. So the things that he said about Aysha, I would definitely second that. But to add to it, like she said, I'm her little bro. And we had some great times on the road, and it's interesting how we met and knew of each other. There was a guy that was doing some help with her, and I would get his emails, and he lives in Colorado. And I'm like, who is this guy sending me these emails? He would come to see me play at a spot called Jazz and Jacks in Denver. And that's how I got introduced to her music. And when I first heard it, I was just blown away. She had a song with Gerald Albright. I thought, wow, who's this? And so eventually we met and became instant family, and that was probably what Aysha, now 14, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So, eventually we started touring together, and, she's just always been a big supporter, but definitely, like I said, a big sis, and I'm very proud of her, very, very excited for this new single. And everything that's to come with this. I think it's going to definitely do well. Niels, you and I shared a stage together in Vegas, so it's like it's really cool to meet. Kevin, I've heard about you for years, man, so nice to meet you as well, brother.
Pleasure's mine.
So it's really cool that, as you can tell, once again, to echo what she said, she surrounds herself with excellence. And it's really cool as a saxophone player, having done shows with Aysha, to play parts that Gerald Albright and Everett Harp, people like that, recorded, because she was able to do songs with them. So there's times I've been on stage with her, I had to play their parts, which is always cool for me because, those guys I look up to this day and have become, acquainted with. So being, part of Aysha's world has extended my reach as an artist and as a person. And, it's just good to see that she's back. Doing music again, because that's where her heart really is.
Yes.
And where she shines the best.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you a little funny story about her and I. We were on the road in Massachusetts.
Oh,
and,
I know.
You know what I'm going to say? So it was WEIB. They used to have this midweek wind down kind of thing. It was on a Friday night. And so they brought me on mainly as her saxophone player, but we had to land in Hartford, Connecticut, in the Bradley International Airport. We had to drive to, I guess, Springfield, Massachusetts. But it was in the middle of fall. So we got the rental car because that was part of the package. And me being from Colorado, I'm used to seeing ice scrapers. But it was one in the trunk. We were putting our stuff in the trunk, and Ace was like, "What's that?" And I started laughing. I was like, "Oh, yeah, Cali girl. That's what happens when you have snow on your car. You got to scrape it off." She like freaked out. She didn't know what it was. I'm cracking up. I'm like, oh yeah, you've never seen one of those before, huh?
I was laughing. I was embarrassed and laughing at the same time.
It was totally cute. And you know, and what was funny was this gig we did was like living quarters / hotel. So there was actually people that lived on one floor, but then the upper floor was actually a hotel.
Oh, that's right.
Like
That's right.
Inn or something like that. Yeah. But her and I sold that place out. We sold all our merch, and it was a track show. We had a lot of fun. Big shout out to you know, the people over at WEIB. They were just amazing people. That's probably been like 13 years now. But
yeah, Carol Cutting.
Carol, that's right, Carol. Yeah, and so we've had some amazing times on the road, and you know, I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah.
Her and I haven't shared the stage since about 6 months before COVID. We did a sold out show there back in 2019. So, you know, we've been meaning to get back together soon, and I hope we can do that, you know, very soon. Now that she's got some new music out, I've got some new music out. So, you know, we're definitely going to do that. But Aysha, you know, I love you very dearly, and I'm very proud of you. And I'm going to play your song a lot because I'm still playing the other songs almost every week. So you have constant rotation of Jazz and P5 out here, you know. But now we got some new stuff, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
Thank you.
That's great, Kevin. You've known Aysha for a long time. What kind of stories can you tell us about your collaborations?
Oh my goodness! I think my first story would be we met at El Torito's during karaoke.
Yep.
And a guy named Leslie. Leslie used to be the lead singer for a group called New Birth. And you every week, every Friday, we'd see so many people there, and that's how she and I met. My biggest thing with Aysha in the studio has always been she'll look for an ad-lib line or an alternate melody line, and she'll say, "Give me one." I say, "Nope." No, I'm not going to do it. I said, "You have it, just do it." Okay. What would you do though if you were going to give me one? What would it be? I'm like, no. And it's always just making sure that she always has just so much of her to give and less of me to give, and it came out great on this track, and that's who she is. I mean, she has so much to give and so much that she wants to give, but sometimes she has to convince herself that she can do it. And
it's been a while.
and because she truly can, and we go back for, my goodness, 27 years almost.
Yeah.
And
boy, before I was born.
Hey, we were in nursery school.
Right.
But yes, I mean, an amazing talent. And it's been a pleasure and always will be to work with her. And I know this track is going to do great. And it has a lot of Akron, Ohio on it. And you know, I can't wait to see what it does.
Yeah, I know what you mean by Akron. I lived in Cleveland for about 10 years.
Okay.
So I know exactly what you mean.
Oh yes, it's there's nothing like being from the Buckeye State.
Yeah.
We love it.
Niels, what can you tell us about one of your collaborations with Aysha that stands out in your mind?
It's the one that's upcoming. No, I say we gotta have to work on something together. That's what I mean.
Yeah, he's been
we haven't been in the studio yet together. So
no.
we met really just like casually in LA. I think it was for another mutual friend, and we've been friends, staying in touch ever since. I really, always liked her music, and it's that kind of that LA groove, the soulful, jazzy, like Bobby Caldwell in the broader sense, in a female way, and with her own style on it. And it's the kind of music that brought me to this town, So it's been. I like grooves. I like good voices, and I like good productions and good music. And Aysha has all of these things. So I'm really curious about all the other new stuff that she has in the works, and hopefully we can work on something together.
Yeah.
Dial something up, because that's what's all about for me. Music is it's about sharing, it's about collaborations, it's about exchange. It's a language, like we said, like Terry said earlier, like the soul that comes across just by hearing a sound, and it doesn't matter what native language you speak, people can feel it, and that's what music's all about.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, look, I'm sure our audience is really eager to hear some of Aysha's music, and we are going to absolutely get to her new song. Maybe even play it twice tonight if we have time. But I want to play one of her songs that I love, called "Keep on Loving Me." Aysha, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about that song, and then we'll play it for everybody.
Yeah. So this song, Kevin, we were working together. I was working with a manager, and we were going to go into the studio and try and record something. And he's like, I think I have some songs that would fit you perfectly. And he played them. They were for another artist that for whatever reason, it was a crossover album from out of the States, I think Philippines or something. And she was doing an album in the US, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. So I listened to the songs and I'm like, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. And so Keep on Loving Me was the very, very first song that Kevin and I got into the studio with. And he, being spoiled, he takes me to this amazing studio I think it's called Glenwood Place. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. And we did a lockout, and I brought my daughter. They baked her chocolate chip cookies and all that. And it was amazing. Yeah. So my first experience in a real studio was that studio. And, I just love the song, and people always say it's kind of a Sade-esque song.
Yes, very much so.
But
I get that.
It's one of my favorites, and the musicians were already on there, but just top-notch musicians all the way around. So I mean, you couldn't go wrong. It's just amazing.
Well, I want everybody to hear the music. Somebody, Victor Orlando.
Oh, Victor. Hey, Victor. Thank you.
He's checking in with you, saying
he's
hello.
An amazing percussionist.
Okay, wonderful. Let's play for everybody. Keep on Loving Me, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit more.
Okay.
so far.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
It's such a beautiful song. We have some comments from listeners already. Here's one. Dion Sullivan. I play Keep on Loving Me when I need a hug. Here's another one. Lisa Carlisle. Your voice soars with the angels. Sweet, emotional, full of soul. Ted Luther. Wonderful. Bravo and congratulations. Richie Porter. Love your voice. Wow. Jim High. Congratulations on your new release.
Oh, Jim. Wow. Thanks, Jim, for tuning in.
Yes. You have a lot of people who are just really enjoying your music already.
Yay, yay, yay. That is one of my favorites, though, I have to say.
I'm just curious, for all your friends here, what do you think of Keep on Loving Me that makes it such an Aysha type of song? Who wants to go first?
I will. I think it makes it an Asia kind of song, the way she actually relates to the song. She's one of those people who she takes a song, it's a canvas, and the lyrics and the melody are her paint. And no matter what, she's gonna make you and draw you a masterpiece in the studio. And she just puts 100% of her and her heart into her song and into her music, especially Keep On Loving Me. I mean, that song just walks with her hand in hand.
Thank
That's
you.
that's a wonderful way to express it. And I think that's what attracted me to Aysha years ago. It's that she makes a song her own, whether the song is a cover or whether no matter what it is, her style shows through and really makes the song more vibrant than maybe even the original was.
Wow, thank you.
So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to mute you, Tony, because you're getting a lot of wind noise. I apologize.
Just happy to have you here, Tony.
Okay, Niels, do you have any comment you want to make about?
Well, I heard the song for the first time, but I said it's beautiful. I mean, I love how it soars away, and especially the end vamp. It just really has this very uplifting, where the music and the vocal performance and the lyrics all go hand in hand. And I think that's what makes it great, really smooth, really a great pocket and great tone, everything. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to make one comment. I listen to music 24/7 because of the radio station. And one of the things that I listen to carefully is how Aysha bends words. It's very unique, and she has this stylistic gift to be able to understand what the word means within the song. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think, that's to me one of the things that makes her so outstanding, as a vocalist and an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Tony,
you.
Tony, I'm going to let you speak for a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tony. What do you got? Any comment?
Man, listen,
just wind.
That no skip situation. Like her music, you put on an Aysha record and you don't skip a song. Period.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to make it play, and then you repeat it again. And then, like you said, when you need a hug and you can't get one, go on one of her songs. It's just, there's a certain quality that she brings vocally to all her music. And then, like I said, there's a standard of excellence that I've noticed that I've learned from her over the years of working with her, that she has a crazy work ethic, and she always makes sure that everything is done at a high standard. So, that's important as an artist, to never settle, to never, just do anything that's less than what you think your value is. And she's taught me that over the years, to always maintain a very high standard of musicality and excellence. So, it's I'm sure that's going to keep going on. But I can tell you personally, yeah, all her records, when I put them on, I just let them play. You don't skip a song. Just don't.
That's a great compliment to any artist.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, look, it's time we get to the masterpiece. Ooh. So real. So let's everybody. That's what the party's about, and everybody's waiting to hear it. So, right. Aysha, tell us a little bit about the song. How it came to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I normally, it's kind of funny because the songs we're playing this tonight I didn't write, but typically I write my songs. I write the lyrics. But a few years ago, I can't say several, a few years ago, a Facebook friend, Bobby Wood, had sent me a song and said, I think you'd be really great on this song. And I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it because I was really trying to stay down that narrow, smooth jazz genre. And it was a little bit too soulful or R&B. And I didn't know that I wanted to go that route at the time that one was sent to me. So fast forward to very recently, it was even more recent than our last interview, Mel. He reached out again. He said, let's do a collaboration. Let's do something. I want to send you the song. He said, I think I sent it to you already. And he sent it, and I'm like, I like this. And so I told him, I said, well, I've got to own the song. I've got to own the master, this and that. So I said, let me send this to someone first. So I sent it to Kevin. And I said, Kevin, what do you think about the song? Because I've got to pay for it, because I got to own my masters. I got to own the song. So what do you think? And he said, he wrote me back. He says, yeah. He says, I think you should do it. I'm like, okay. And so I'm talking to Bobby, and I said, now, do you mind if I change things around and bring in some musicians and maybe change the melody and here and there? He says, no. He says, do your thing. He says, but who are you going to work with? I said, well, I've got this great producer. His name is Kevin Dorsey. And he started laughing. It's like, oh my God. He says, me and Kevin grew up together. He says, if you're working with Kevin, no more questions. Run with it, because I know you're in great hands. And it was just so funny because such a small world. They grew up in Akron, Ohio together. Went to school together.
Wow.
So we took what he sent me and we just totally revamped it and made it what it is today. And just, I don't know. I mean, Kevin was amazing he's just incredible at producing vocals, and he'll say, do this harmony, do this harmony, do this harmony. And he just knows how, and when you hear it, you'll understand what I'm saying, how incredible it is, because the harmonies are so lush and tight that, it's incredible.
I love this song, and I know it's going to be a huge hit. So here's this second star of the show. You're the first star, and So Real is the second star. So let's play So Real for everybody, and then we'll come back and talk about it collectively.
Okay.
Woman, swell the breeze. Your love is so real to me. And when you touch me, my heart is at ease. It feels so real. Oh boy, when you smile at me, my heart skips a beat, then sings a melody of love. Oh baby, it's pure satisfaction. You're all I need. I need your loving, kissing and your hugging. It makes me feel so real. A natural woman, never keep it coming. 'Cause all I wanna do is be with you. Loving you, baby. I need you, baby. It makes me feel so real. Loving you is all I wanna do. Never keep it coming. 'Cause you make me feel so real. Oh, so real. Loving you is all I wanna do.
All right.
Wonderful. What that is
Very
so
nice.
real. Yeah, here are some comments coming in. Here's one. Joey Porter Carrero. When is it on sale? I want
July
Big.
18th.
it. Okay. Wow, I'm speechless. Beautiful. From Trudy.
Nice.
Lonnie Levinson. This is what smooth jazz needs to be. More soulful. A sure hit.
All right.
Love it.
Bobby Reese. When can I buy a copy?
July 18th.
One of the most beautiful songs I've heard.
Wow.
Well, getting great comments from people.
Wow. Thank you all.
Deservedly so.
Thank
So,
you.
so Kevin, now that you hear it on the airwaves, what do you think of your creation with Aysha?
You know, first, I'll thank Bobby for having it here and presenting it to Aysha,
Yes.
and then Aysha giving me the opportunity to add my little thing to it. And it's a wonderful track. She presented it seamless. And like I told you, do your own ad libs, do your own thing, you know. And great song. It's so interesting when Mel, when you were talking earlier. I mean, her style is so. Yes, it's adult contemporary, but it's so soulful.
Yes.
To the jazz, and
Yeah.
it just makes you want to chill. It makes you want to just grab, I don't care if it's a cup of coffee or a cocktail, and just sit down and listen to something beautiful, look at something beautiful, and just say, wow, thank you, Aysha, for giving this to me, you know. And I'm already waiting for the next one.
I'm going to call you again.
Yeah, you got something good going here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic.
So, Tony, I'm curious, but can you identify specific moments or lyrical passages that you find really emotional in that song?
Yeah, I think when I heard the hook for the first time, I thought that was really just that kind of struck me, because one thing about her lyric writing from previous songs, there's a bit of storytelling in there, and so that's always good. You know, when you got a song that has a little bit of a storyline to it that you can kind of identify with. And so, but what always gets me nowadays sometimes is just the chorus or that hook, because what ends up happening is when you got a strong hook, as you all know, as artists and music lovers, you start singing it before you know. So when you heard the song for the first time, before I knew it, I was humming it to myself. That's the key right there. You know, you got a good record that people will, identify with and like. So that was one of the things that stood out for me on this particular song.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just a question for you to explain. Why don't you explain to everybody what a hook is? A lot of our listeners may not know.
Forget I'm talking to. There might be some. So hook is basically the chorus of the song, like the repetitive part toward the middle of the song, after the verse, that everybody remembers.
Gets you hooked.
Yeah, so it's where
you hooked, yes.
And some songs have great hooks. Some songs they're okay. It's always the part of the song that like I said, it hooks you in. The one part. And normally it's the case part of the song, whether melodically or lyrically or a combination of the two, the part of the song that most people identify with and tend to remember.
Okay, well, you're starting to break up a little bit, Tony. So I'm gonna pass the torch to Niels. Niels, what's your thoughts on, the song?
I just really like the vibe. I like how it flows. Lyrically, it's different for me. I hear music different. Maybe it's because English is my first language. I can tell you exactly the guitar parts, the reverb on the drums, that's hi-hat, before I can tell you what the words were about. That's just the way my brain works. I just analyze instantly, like the production and every little aspect. But what grabs me is the feel of the song. And it's just the ride, it's just the way it rides out. Mm-hmm. I love all the background vocals in there that you guys did, and the whole thing is just it's a feel-good song. It's a great song for summer. It's one thing that you want to listen to when you sit outside, have a coffee in a restaurant, or just kick back, as you said. It's a very beautiful track, and it just makes me feel good. And that's really all that counts. It's that's the most important thing for me. It's like, it's how it does make you feel, And certainly hits the mark, this one.
Yeah, I'm curious. You guys have been around Aysha for a long time. How would you compare this song to the body of work that Aysha's produced over the years? Is this a different direction? Is it? How would you describe how this song fits into her musical opus?
I would have to say it's a different direction. It's lyrically, this is her first kind of love song, but how do you say it? More, I guess, well, I want your loving, your kissing, and your hugging. This is a more aggressive song for her lyrically, and she's going after a different audience, her same audience, her fans, the people who have been behind her since the beginning, but she's reaching out for others also on this particular track, and she's going to get them. She's going to get them. It's strong, very strong melodically.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's just like Neil said. As musicians and producers, you put the song together before you start saying, okay, let me see what the words are and the blah and the blah. That's just us. It's difficult to even go to a show without dissecting it, But, people say, how do you enjoy the show? I say, hey, leave me alone, But But yes, it's she's going. She went after something different, and she got it.
That's
Yay.
great. Aysha, why don't you tell everybody, from your perspective, how this song fits in to the collective work that you've done?
Well, I am trying to go into a little bit different of direction. Um, I really am trying to break away from just straight smooth jazz. I never really even intended on being in smooth jazz from the first album. It just kind of happened that that's where I got placed. But I'm really trying to break away and get a little bit more into, the soul and the urban adult contemporary and those audiences, and not just smooth jazz. I mean, it still fits in the smooth jazz, kind of, but it definitely, in my opinion, I think it can reach way outside that into the soul and the R&B and the, in adult contemporary genre.
I couldn't agree more. I see it the same way. And I've had, Terry's been on my show and Niels has been on my show and you have, and I choose I choose artists who have some connection, obviously, to jazz, but I want artists that break away from smooth jazz. In some ways, smooth and jazz are an oxymoron. And you guys, you and Terry and Niels have given it new direction and purpose, and brought it closer to R&B and soul, and that brings it back to its roots, what jazz used to be. And so, not only are you crossing over into, adult contemporary, but I think you're moving it forward and backward, to more of what jazz was. It's more improvisational. It's not formulaic. And that's what I really love about this song. So, that's my 2 cents.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys feel it's crossing over to other genres, because that was my intention for this one.
Yeah. Niels, you started talking about, you hear the music first. What is it in the chord? What is it in the chord structure that you like about this song?
It's pop. To me, this is really popular music. It's very easy to digest. Not that it's in a way that it's simple, but it's very pleasant to the ears. The chord progression works great, and the way the melody sits on it is just one of these things. I don't know how to describe it to people who are not in music, other than just, does it hit your spot? And it's different for everybody anyways. You can never judge anybody saying, I don't like this song, because, music chooses you. It's not the other way around. You cannot decide, I like this, all of a sudden I'm into this. To me, this is stuff that always worked for me. It comes from the old funk, R&B, into the smooth jazz. I never was really into real traditional jazz. I grew up, my first love was rock and roll. Then I got into funk, and then I got into jazz. And then we had this time in the 80s where we call it a fusion, Jeff Lorber fusion, all these kind of things. And that got smoothed out, and that's where really smooth jazz came from, but it got too restrictive. So I'm always happy if somebody steps out a little bit and does something that's a little bit more, okay, well, we can bring some more R&B, some pop in this stuff. Or maybe somebody wants to be a little bit more techno fusion, like just to keep that format alive. It's, after all, it's just music. These labels are really just so radio stations can market more precisely. But other than that, it's really meaningless. Is it good music? Do you like the song? At the end of the day, that's all that counts. And I do like this one.
One of the things that I love about this song, I've quoted on my show before Chuck Berry, who's had a wonderful array of quotes. And he was once interviewed, and I love this. He was asked, how do you know what your audience wants to hear when you go on stage? And he said, I don't care what they want to hear. I want to give them something they didn't expect, so they walk away a better person for it because they've learned about some new music. I don't want to give them what they already know. I want to give them something they don't know. And I think what you're talking about, Neil, is like Aysha gives people something they're not expecting. And I think that's, again, part of the uniqueness. Tony, Tony, what do you want to add to this conversation?
I want to kind of echo what Mills was saying. Smooth jazz is kind of not even kind of. I never looked at smooth jazz as more of as a genre of music. I always looked at it as more of a radio format that kind of took from the fusion he talked about in the contemporary jazz of the earlier days. Coming from Grover, Jeff Lorber, David Sanborn, Bob James, but gave it more of a formatted kind of a songwriting craft for that radio format concept. And so that's what we've seen for probably the last, since the early 90s, and more so in the last probably 15 years. But she's always kind of walked that fine line between that smooth jazz with that R&B quality, that pop quality. The pop quality comes from the melodies that she sings, and the grooves in her songs have that R&B feel to it. And, as a smooth jazz artist, I always tell people that we're just kind of the instrumental side of R&B pop. With organizational to
we're having problems
you can
with your
combine them
audio.
and still make people move and make people feel good.
We're having problems with your audio.
Okay. I know I'm in a bad spot. I'm sorry, you guys.
That's all right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to.
I'm glad you came
Tony,
out, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to make it too, Tony. I'm sorry we're having some audio issues. I want to move on and play another of Aysha's songs. I want to move on and play another of Aysha's songs.
Strange echoes.
Yeah, I'm getting some echoes.
Guys, I just gotta say real quick. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to split. I have an appointment.
Guys.
But Aysha, I love the new track. You definitely I just hit the spot with that one, and let's stay in touch. I'd love maybe we can work on something together. Maybe come up with something new. Yeah. And I wish you all the success with the song.
Thank you.
And more. And Kevin, good work. Congratulations.
Pleasure meeting you.
Hopefully we can, craft something up together in the future.
Sounds great.
I love
all
that.
Right. Mel,
Great.
Thanks for hosting all this. And
pleasure.
And until next time then, okay?
Good. Take care of yourself.
All right. You take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Okay. Now we're down to 3. Maybe Tony will plug himself back in again. But I want to play "Release Me," and that song just is a terrific song. I'm not sure, Kevin. I don't know if you collaborated on that with Aysha.
Yes, he produced the vocal, and he's the one that brought in the musicians for this song. So he had a big part in this song.
I'm curious, Kevin. When you go to the mixing and mastering, is it difficult or easier to work with Aysha as a final product, the way she does her vocals?
It's I'll always say it's a task, because the way she does her vocals is unique, and now you and your engineer must make sure that you capture that uniqueness, because if not, you lose it, which means you lose part of her. Right. So it's not easy, but once you get it, I mean, it's wonderful, and it's always something to where it takes, let's mix it, what do you think? Then she'll go and, well, I heard this, I heard that, or I don't think did you, da-da-da-da, mix again.
I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah, very much so. you know, and as you should always be a perfectionist. You just want to make sure that you don't mix yourself out of a hit.
Right.
You know, very often, you know, listeners think you just go in the studio, you lay it down. They don't know the kind of work that goes into post-production.
Yes.
You know,
that's you know, you lay the egg and then you got to cook it.
Yeah.
You know, so but yes, it's in every way working with Aysha is always wonderful, and it's, I mean, how do you say it? Your work is your play, but you don't play with your work.
Yeah.
You know?
That's well put. That's well put. Okay, let's play. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm good. Let's play it.
Let's play Release Me, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
Okay.
Caress me so gently. Baby, when you look at me, I get so weak inside. Found a way to reach deep in my soul. You set my spirit free, and now I'm letting go. I've got this burning fire inside of me, it's ready to explode. It's in the way when you release me. It's the night when you release me. Oh, how you release me. Please release me. It's the night when you come on, baby. Tonight, 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 tonight. Your passion, it fills me. Your loving, ooh, it thrills me. When you call my name out loud, well, I get so weak inside. Well, yes, I do. Can we take this love real soft and slow? The way you move my body, you know I'm about to lose control. You wanna take my time, explore each fantasy with you. 'Cause I love when you release me. It's the night so gently. That is the way you release me. Come on, baby, tonight. That is the way when you set me free. Softly, that's the way when you release me. Release me.
Wow, that is, I just love it. Here you got some people listening in. Donnie Mayback. The beat that seems to underlie much I've heard tonight is soulful, but low-key funk sweetens the groove. Rita
Nice,
Garfield.
thank you.
God, I love your voice. I must confess, I was unfamiliar with your work, but you've made a new fan.
Nice, thanks, Rita.
Sarah Tillman, your voice is so distinct, wonderful, way above most. Who's playing guitar?
Oh,
that's
a dear friend, Daryl Crooks, who unfortunately passed from COVID.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one, Woody Williams. On which album is this? I Want It.
This is on the Take Me Higher CD.
Terrific. Okay. Well, look, people are loving your music tonight. You know, and I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying all of this. You know, I'm curious, Aysha, and maybe again, Kevin, you can speak to this. The musical influences of your body of work, have they changed at all? You know, over the years. I'm just curious, are there any young artists today who comes to mind that you may listen to that you think is bringing something new to music? That's
inspiring me vocally?
Well, that you find that interesting or unique. You know, you talk about urban adult contemporary. Are there any young artists out there working in that genre that comes to mind?
Not that I can really think of. You know, I just always look back to, you know, the original influences that I've had, which were Rochelle Farrell. She just was able to use her voice to sound like an instrument, just so talented. And Phyllis Hyman, she could tell a story like no other. I mean, just so passionate and emotional in her vocal. And then Sade, just that smooth, sultry sound. She's sexy, but classy, really classy. And those were the three that really just kind of always influenced me in a way that, you know, I want to make music that does this, that does that grabs you here. And that's kind of how I.
Now, this might seem far out to you, and I don't know, Kevin, what you're going to think about this, but I know the person that I think about sometimes I listen to your music is Lady Gaga.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that resonates with either of you, but it's her voice, the way she also interprets a song. Mm-hmm. And there's very few artists that really can grab onto a lyric, you know, and manufacture something special. And I think she does. I think she's very underrated as a vocalist, you know. But that's my 2 cents. Kevin, what do you?
Vocalist.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll agree with you. She is another artist who paints a picture. Unfortunately, because she doesn't do all of the vocal acrobatics and puts her voice, you know, in the circus and swings on the trapeze. I mean, she doesn't get a lot. She gets more juice from her wardrobe.
Yes.
Than her vocal. And, you know, I was going to say, for me, the only youngster that I really have latched on to, I had the pleasure of being Neo's musical director for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love Neo.
with his melodies, lyric, I mean, just his writing overall. I mean, he says something. I'm one of those male who is very, very, very tough on today's music. You know, I was doing an interview with Rolling Stone, and they asked me what did I feel was going to be the next big thing in music, and I thought about it. I said, talent.
That's funny, Kevin.
I know that rocked a lot of boats, but I mean, I'm sorry. It's they're taking Melodyne on tour.
Kevin, I was talking to Aysha about this kind of before the show started tonight. And, I was mentioning, name an iconic band of vocalists in the mid 1990s. Good luck. Music, for better or for worse, when labels controlled it and they did A&R and you had radio, who was spinning, the people in A&R were, had 50 years of experience. They kind of knew what good is, and now it was very structured, and you could, but now it's chaotic. I mean, the music scene is chaotic. There's so much noise out there, and like you said, with the technology, people, craft songs and put them out there, and nobody even writes them anymore.
And each group back in the day truly had an identity.
Yeah.
Today's top 10, if you close your eyes, you think it's the same person just trying to disguise their voice a little bit. They're the same. There's no separation. And okay, forgive me, I'm one of the old guys, but I have had the privilege and the pleasure of working on a lot of hit songs with a lot of legendary artists, and when I think of Asia, I mean, my goodness, Mel, I've had the pleasure of doing Ella, Gladys, Patty, Whitney, Aretha. I mean, I've run that gambit, and when I think of it, of who's out there today, it's, when people are so quick to stamp that diva tag on people, and I don't know, you have a shot because you work so hard. Your work ethic is amazing, and your heart is pure, and you care about and love the music, and you care about and love the fans and people who help make you and present you to the world. That's what puts you on the road to a diva.
Yeah.
Besides your talent.
Aysha, the person that comes to my mind when I ask you about someone young, and she isn't that young, but Samara Joy has brought something terrific back to jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but you have to struggle to find anybody anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that just hurts music terribly. That's why I wanted to have this release party for you, because you have something exceptional to offer everybody. And this is my first release party I've ever done on the station in 5 years. Yeah, in 5 years.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the song is worth it. I want to play one more song, and then I want to go back and wrap up by playing, So Real for Everybody one more time. But I want to play Dreamin', which is a song that I love, and maybe you or Kevin want to kind of set it up a little bit.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Wow. Dreamin' is one of my favorites. And I'll tell you, when it was done, it put me in the mind of Earth, Wind, and Fire's Sun Goddess, or should I say Ramsey Lewis's Sun Goddess.
Yeah.
And with everyone from Zane to John Beasley to everyone playing on this, it's
Gerald Albright.
Gerald, I mean, it's just one of my favorites, and I know everyone who's getting ready to hear this is gonna love just the groove. They can just close their eyes and and just let the music love them.
Well, I think one of the things that I'm glad that you're on this show and Tony was on and Neil's, because you guys really understand what music was and still can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dreamin' just typifies what music can still be. So let's play Dreamin' for everybody. Okay, and then we'll come back and play your new release one more time.
All right.
Wow. You got some great comments. People are just really loving this music tonight. Tucker Patterson says, now this is unsmooth jazz at its best. Here's another one. Devon Braxton, wow, what a well-crafted song. It shows us what a vocalist should be like. Marcus Stroman, love the background vocals that enrich your floating vocals. This rocks. How amazing. Again, Marcus Stroman. He loves his songs. You know, but love the sax solo. Grace Newell. What album is this on?
This is on the Stay With Me album.
Stay With Me. When did that one come out?
That one came out in 2010, end of 2010.
2010. Okay. Well, look, Aysha, this has been a wonderful evening. And I can't thank you enough, Kevin, for taking the time to make this a really great party, and Tony, who was driving.
Pleasure, truly mine. Thank you.
Yeah, and having Niels on the show too. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Tony, Niels, Terry, and Kevin. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy. I mean, everybody's busy, but you seem to be like super busy. So for you to take this much time out, I just thank you so much. I love you. And I can't wait to do more.
Well, let's play again for everybody the song of the evening. All right. And we'll kind of close out with So Real. Then we'll come back and just say goodbye to everybody. So here's So Real one more time. This is the release party for So Real.
Gentle as a summer breeze, your love is so real to me. And when you touch me, my heart is at ease. It feels so real. Oh boy, when you smile at me, my heart skips a beat.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Look at the comments. This is from Norris Gladwell. Now that I'm hearing So Real for the second time, it's even better. You can count one more sale.
Wow.
Nice, thank you.
Penny Lane. My parents must have loved the Beatles. Aysha, you are so real, it breaks through for the world to hear.
Wow. Thank you.
Well, look, I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'm so glad that you were able to bring your friends and collaborators on. And Kevin, it was a pleasure getting to know you.
The pleasure's mine, Mel. Thank you.
Yes,
And
thank you so much for having us on and doing this. I guess this is the first single release party you've done, so that's such an honor. Thank you.
And you have a second distinction. It's the longest show I've ever done. It's an hour and 40 minutes, I think.
Wow.
That's a new record for me. But I want to thank you both. And next week I have a great guest on. I'm having Walter Williams, one of the co-founders of the OJs, and then I'm having Eddie Levert, the other co-founder, the week after. So yeah. So
nice. Nice.
Yeah, I have some good music on here. So congratulations again, Aysha. I want to thank you both. And I hope to have both of you back on the show.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Well, that was just wonderful. I mean, the music is incredible. Aysha is an artist that is just superb. And I'm so glad that the Source TV radio network, through the Jazz Confusion Power Hour, is able to bring you her newest release, So Real. So everybody have a great week, and see you everybody back here next week. So good night, everybody. I'm Mel Albin. I'm the host. I'm the founder of the Jazz Confusion Power Hour.
My name is Dion Parson, and I'm honored to share my passion of music with you, our listening audience, through my cultural heritage.
Things can change for you too. If you want to be brand new, that is absolutely possible.